Hi guys, I hope you are doing well. At this session we're gonna model the Lotus temple together step by step. Let's check it out. Here, as you can see at the analysis stage, it is composed by 3 rows and 3 groups of surfaces that we're gonna model them by this way. And all in all, generally I mean we should create one of them, these 3 parts of the model temple, and then we're gonna array it and also mirror and array polar. Let's check other images. Here we got a plan view that we can use it to create the or sketch the top view and also the front view. I want to use these images, and so at the first stage I import the plan view in Rhino by this way, then in the top view. After that, I place the picture at the center or the origin point by this way. Here in the perspective view, I import the section view of the temple into Rhino. I choose vertical option and then I place it right here. Then I adjust the image, I move it downwards to specify the height of the model in Rhino by using the image. But for now I don't need this picture. I press down Ctrl H to hide it, and then for the another one, for the top view, I open properties, then in material, and then I can increase the transparency by this way. Then at the top view, then here to make sure that the image is placed at the origin point. I want to adjust the center at the origin point. I want to sketch a circle by 3 points, and then I start sketching like this. Well done. Watch this. Following that, I select the picture. I start the command of move. Then I make sure that the center snap is activated. Then I select the center of the circle and I adjust it at the origin point. So right now my picture is placed at the center or at the origin point. I select the picture and then by pressing Ctrl L, I lock it. I pick polygon, then I just specify the number of sides. Then I click on a star from the origin point polygon. I hold down shift to restrict it, and then I specify the point and then the next point or the corner of the star. Well done. As you can see, the star or the polygon is matched with the image. Then I can start offsetting the polygon through points. I specify the point for offsetting. Again, I start offsetting till this part by this way. Again, next one offset like this. Check this out. So till now we have drawn the main curves. After that, by using polyline from the origin point, I hold down shift till this part, and then I want to use array polar. Watch this. From the origin point 0, 18 as the number of the items, and then the fill angle. I sketch the main curves or the frame of the work by this way. And even here I can create a circle at the origin point like this way. I press down enter, one more till this part, the intersection, and then the next one I create or sketch another circle by this way at the corners or intersections. So we can use these circles for sketching other parts of the model, for example by this way, and then one more. Very well. And then the last one which touches the intersections by this way. After that, I'm gonna select all of these curves by this way, then I associate them to layer 1, change object layer, and then I'm gonna rename the layer. For instance, I specify guideline By this way, they turn to red. And even I can lock them to make them unselectable by using these snaps. Then at the perspective view, and then I start sketching the model. Let us take a look on the picture again. Here, as you can see, for sketching or creating this surface we need 4 curves, and as you can see at other pictures, for instance here, these 2 curves are placed on the ground. I mean their vertexes are placed on the ground, while these 2 points are placed at heights or at the climax, and its height is higher than the point which is placed behind that. So get back to Rhino in layer 2. In layer 2, then from the set of lines I pick vertical line by this way, and then from this point I sketch a vertical line. Following that, I specify the height of the line or the vertical line based on the imported image in the front view. So I unhide the section view, I mean the picture of section view, and after showing the image I open front view, and then I sketch the height lines by this way in order to specify the heights or the decrease for the first level. Then I specify the second level and then the third level by these lines as the spot elevations. Right now we don't need the picture anymore, so we can hide it and then get back to perspective view by this way. Then I pick the vertical line, then I extend the line till the level 1 or the first elevation by this way. As you can see, even I can modify the level, I mean the color of this layer by this way. I think this is a more proper line, proper color actually, I'm sorry. Again the vertical line, then I extend it till level 2 or the second level. Actually I extended less than before. Then I start interpolate curve. I connect the 2 endpoints. After that I connect these 2 points. After that another line. Let me disable planar like a triangle. Here if I keep the planar activated, the plane would be reserved. I connect these 2 lines to each other by another line. After that, at the top view, I select the curves. Then I adjust the control points based on the imported picture into top view. Also the another one, I modify the positions of the control points in order to create the desired curve. Well done. It's time to select the curves. Then I show the control points and then I adjust the curveness along the x-axis by modifying them. But note that here we do not make any changes on the control points along the x and y axis, but we adjust the control points along z-axis. Since if we make any changes or modify them, then we will have some problems in mirroring them. So we only modify the points along the z-axis. And for the other parts, I can modify their elevations. I move them upwards. And the curves seem to be okay. And let me modify this one. Very well. After that, I start edge surface. I select these curves to create a surface. After that, we can have the surface. Check this out. I can select the surface and then mirror by this way. As you can see, we have mirrored the surface at the other side. I select them, join. Following that, I start the command of array polar. I specify the center of the array, then the number of the items, 9, and then the fill angle. Watch this. So till now we have passed the first stage of the process of modeling. I select the last created objects by using this command, select. I hold down shift to select the first object to Ctrl G to group them, and then I right click on layer 4 to set the selected objects to layer 4. Then I hide the level. Okay, let's go for the next stage. I wanna take a look on a picture for modeling the next part, or the second part actually. Here, as you can see at this part, here we got 3 curves instead of 4 curves. 1, 2, and 3 curves. As you can see, the first point is placed on the ground and the second point is placed at this elevation that we will calculate the height by using this section view, and then the last point which is placed behind the surface. So here again I select a vertical line, and then from this part, actually it doesn't make difference, they are the same. For example, here at the intersection, and then I extend it till the second level. So I have sketched the vertical line based on the second level elevation actually. Following that, I select interpolate curve. I started from the end point, and then I extend the line to connect it to the ground or to the intersection, and then I sketch another line to connect these 2 points to each other. However, I can sketch it from here, the end intersection, and then connect it to the near, so that we can adjust the top and front view. But what is clear in the image is that we can create this surface by using 4 curves, not 3. As I am showing, as you can see in this screen, 4 curves. So get back to Rhino. Following that, I select this curve, then I select the control points, then from the top view I curve the line, or adjusting the curvedness by this way. Following that, in the perspective view, I adjust the curvedness of the control points along the z-axis. Also, the next line in the same order along the z-axis. Then I start the command of a surface. I select the curves to create the surface. Check this out. I select the surface, then I want to mirror it at the other side like this way. Following that, again I select the surfaces, Ctrl J to join them, then array polar, the center 9 as the number of the items. Watch this. Then I select all of the surfaces to group them, Ctrl G, and then I set them to layer 4 actually, by this way. And then for the last stage, that again we're gonna move it forward by using a vertical line. At layer 2, I extend it till the 3rd elevation. Well done. And then the next curves by using interpolate curve and then creating the surface from this point to the another point, and then one more line, and then from this point till the end point of the another line. Then at the top view, I select the first curve to adjust the control points to match it with the imported image in the top view, and then the next one by this way. In the same way, I place the control points on the plan view exactly like this way, and then I wanna curve these lines along the z-axis by this way, as you can see. And as I told you before, we should only modify the curveness in the along the z-axis, as I told you before. And following that, by using a surface, I select the 4 curves and then I create the surface. I select the surface, then mirror by this way. I select the 2 surfaces, Control J to join them. Following that, array polar, 9 as number. Watch this. I select the items to group them. Hold down Shift, select, Control G, and then I assign them to the layer 4 by this way. Then I show the layer 4 to check the general model till now. Watch this. And in the next stage, we're gonna create the actually these windows or these storefront walls. So let me see. In Rhino, I wanna search for a line. Wait for a second. For example, curve interpolate point. Then in the top view, from the midpoint, I connect these 2 points to each other by this way, and then I select the control points to curve the line like this way. However, in the future sessions, we will teach you how to extract some curves from the created surfaces. But till now, since we haven't covered that or those topics, I consider a small gap and then mirror by this way. Following that, I select them and then join them, and then I select this line or curve, extrude by this way. I select the surface, trim, then I trim the surface or the extrusion actually like this way. And if you want to reduce the sharpness of the curve, so we can sketch our line straightly like this. But for now, this is satisfying, and then I select it. Array polar, the center of the array, 9 as items. Well done. Then I select the last created objects. Following that, I press Ctrl G to group them. So till now we have created our surfaces. So we can select all of the surfaces or objects, and then I start offset surface toward outside. Then I want to adjust the distance. I set solid to yes, and then the distance 0.03 or 0.05. Let's check it out. In order to extrude the surfaces like this. By this way, as you can see in the perspective view and the rendered viewport. And in the next stage, we're gonna model the landscape approximately. I mean, we're not gonna model all of the details. I turn off the layer 4 since we don't need it, and I assign these surfaces to layer 4 as well, and I lock the purple layer. Following that, by using the primary lines that we had sketched, that we got them in guideline layer, I show them. After that, I'm gonna model the landscape of the building. So to do this, I open top view, polyline from the origin point till this end point. After that, by using offset command, so here I can select this line. I want to split it by this way. Check this out. Following that, I start the command of offset. I select this curve or line, then I specify the offset distance 1.2, and then at both sides. Watch this, we got it at both sides. And then by using array polar, I want to array these 2 lines at the other parts around the circle, 9 as items by this way. After that, by using blend curve, I select these 2 curves and then I blend them. Here in adjust curve blend, tangency for both, I click on one of these control points. I hold down shift, then I adjust it symmetrically by this way. As you can see, we got the curve exactly matched with the picture. The curve is selected, or actually arc. then array polar, 0 as center, 9 in 360 degrees. Very well, then I sketch a horizontal line. Again, by using array polar, I'm gonna array this line too at the other parts. Let's check it out. Following that, I can turn off the surface which is placed in default layer. I select these curves and arcs, and then by using the command of curve boolean, let me select them at first. I'm gonna create a closed boundary. At first I select the curves and then curve boolean by this way. Here I can set output to surface, as you can see, and then I click inside the curves. Well done. Then right now we got a surface, and then by using gumball I extrude the surface. Let's check it out by this way. Then in the next stage we're gonna model these stairs, as you can see on the screen, that by using a box by this way. I wanna sketch one of the curves of these stairs, or the curves of one of these stairs actually. I turn off the picture, ISO curves, I hide them, we don't need them actually, and I disable the ISO curves from properties as well. Then I sketch a box like this for these stairs by this way. I move it toward down, check it out, select, and then start the command of array linear for as a number of the items. Then I array the boxes. Then I select the boxes, Ctrl G to group them, and then array polar 0, 9 and 360. Then we will have the stairs at all of the parts by this way. And if we want to continue these sketches, I can sketch a line here. Following that, I select these curves and also the new line. Let me take a look on a picture by this way. Well done. And also I select the polygons. Let me see. I think I haven't selected the right curve. Array polar 0, 9, 360. I hold down shift and then selected the last created objects. After that, the two parallel lines and then the polygons by this way. I select these. After that, I'm gonna start the command of curve boolean to create a closed curve. Wait for a second. Before that, I wanna trim some parts like these. I trim the extra parts. However, we can keep them untrimmed, and then in the command of curve boolean we can combine them. But since we don't need these parts anymore, I trim them at this stage of the work. So after deleting these parts, then we can go for the next items. Well done. Curve boolean by this way. Following that, and then I click inside the curve. Let us check it out in the perspective view, and then move command. I set it to vertical, and then I move it along the z-axis under the stairs by this way, and let me move it downwards. Well done. Then again I want to select the surface and then extrude it a little bit by this order, as you can see. Then again I turn on the green layer, or layer 4. As you can see, we have moved the modeling process forward till here, and then by this way we can model the other parts, as you can see in the picture, for ourselves, and then adding more details. For instance, in the top view, I select the curve and then the line, polygons, and then curve boolean. I click inside. Watch this. By this way, I move it downwards. I select the surface. Let me zoom in to check it out. And then by the gumball, I extrude it. Let me check out the pictures. Watch this. And you can keep the other parts voided. Following that, as the surface is selected, I start array polar, just like other objects, by this way. And as you are concerned, we can add more details to the model. For example, I can sketch a vertical line at the distance of, for instance, not 0.6. Watch this. Look. Then I select the line, and then by using pipe, and then the thickness 2 centimeters. Watch this. The pipe is created. I select the pipe. In the top view, I adjust its position. Let me check the pictures of the Lotus temple. Since I'm gonna try, I'm trying to create the railings by array. I select the curve, and then array curve. I specify the path, the number of the items, for instance 14. Watch this. Then I select the last created objects, Control Shift. Then I create some duplicates from the path. Check this out for the horizontal pipe to complete the railings. Then I select them to convert them to a pipe. Watch this. I convert them to pipes by this way, and then I select all of the curves and then I group them, array polar, and other parts by this way. Very well. So by this order, step by step, we can add details to our model. So I hope you have enjoyed this session, and I want you to create the model attentively. Do not ignore the details and try to use your own creativity. And if you had any questions, you can ask me. See you in the next session.